I'm going to that.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mimi Lichtenstein, and today we have a bit of an impromptu conversation with my friend and partner, Lylie, who is in South Africa. We thought we were going to be, or I thought we were going to be doing this live from Ulusaba, but we're actually doing it live from Sylvan. Welcome to the show, Lylie. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much, Mimi. Wonderful to be back.
And it's funny because we're in very contrasting environments today. I just came in from a 10-degree walk with my puppy, and you're down in nice, warm South Africa. I wish I was with you, that's for sure. And I thought before we dive in, we could just show everybody on a map. You could see here, there's a map of Africa. And then we're in South Africa, or sorry, you're in South Africa. Zooming in, you'll see it as we get closer and closer up here by Kruger and Sabi Sand. And Lylie has been all around this week. I think she's going to at least 4 lodges. You could see here where she has been and where she's going. She was in Cheetah Plains. Now she's at Sylvan. She was at Ulusaba earlier today, and she was at Dulini a couple of days ago. So for everyone's benefit, do you want to also introduce the manager who I think is there with you?
Absolutely. Yes, I'll do that, Mimi. So let me introduce you to Stefan, who is sitting next to me here, who's the lodge manager at Sylvan Safari.
Hello, everybody. A warm welcome to Africa. My name is Stefan, and yeah, welcome to Sylvan Safari today.
I'm so glad you're with us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mimi.
We're both sitting at the table here, which we're going to give you a little bit of a show round just now. But before we do that, perhaps I can just tell you a little bit about the different areas I've been in and how I made my way back to Sylvan. And then we'll start with Sylvan. But it's been a fantastic week in the Sabi Sands. Sabi Sands, for many of you might or might not know, it is the most fantastic area for seeing any wildlife in South Africa, particularly the big cats. So if you're looking for lion, if you're looking for leopards, the occasional cheetah you might be lucky enough to see, it's incredible game, this area. It's a lovely time of year to come. It's quite warm at the moment. Humidity is quite high. We have had quite a lot of rain, and we had a very interesting drive here today, which I won't go into too much, but I'll just give you an idea that we had to turn back twice because of flowing rivers we couldn't get over. So it was very adventurous, but you always mark a plan in South Africa, as they say. You make a plan. So I got, and it's absolutely, absolutely stunning. Just to quickly tell you, so I spent a couple of days at Cheetah Plains, which we can do another call about, but absolutely amazing property. Then on to the Dulini collection, which is 3 lodges. I last came in live from Dulini River Lodge, but there is also Leadwood and Moya, which are a fantastic selection of properties there. And then went off to Ulusaba and was there last night at Ulusaba. I have to say, I had the best game drive at Ulusaba. I was very lucky. We saw 4 leopard in one game drive. Which was incredible, and they're actually all related. So really lovely game drive. Also, the Ottawa Pride I was talking about on our last live, we saw them on the move last night. So we had all the cubs walking on the road with the moms, and it was absolutely incredible. So had a very interesting journey here, but here and lucky to be here. And I must say, I'm absolutely blown away by Sylvan. It is very different to the other properties that I've seen in regards to that, perhaps, an out of Africa feel, or Ulusaba's. I was staying at Rock Lodge, which is up on the mountain, perched up on some rocks. So your views are very good there, which is fantastic. A whole different experience of game viewing, being up on the rocks. And here you're in the most exquisite setting. We've got a river flowing literally in front of the lodge here. We've got exquisite decor, which I'll let Stefan show you all about. Just about to tuck into some lunch, and it looks exquisite. So I'm going to pass you over to Stefan, who's going to have a bit of a walk around and show you a bit about the lodge, and then we will continue chatting. So here you go.
Thank you.
Hi, Mimi. Good to be back with you and everybody.
Thank you so much. We would love to see your beautiful property.
Absolutely. Well, we're having lunch, I guess, in the Mujaji room today. So very bespoke property in terms of the artwork as well. A lot of it came from the inception of the idea with David and his partner being here right at the beginning of Sylvan. Mujaji is the rain goddess, so we typically use this room quite a bit when the rains do come through. As Lylie mentioned, this time of year is quite wet, but the bush, looks phenomenal at this point in time. Obviously, the entry wasn't the easiest today, but like we make a plan, like we said.
That's
And
why we like having people like you guys on the ground, because on many trips things don't go as planned, and in Africa sometimes that probably happens more than other places.
absolutely, Mimi. And being from Zim originally, you tend to make more of a plan most of the time as well, But we're enjoying some lunch for now. I might just walk you around if everybody's okay with that.
Yeah.
I'll put the camera on me and we'll go through everything.
Yeah. And just Lylie had told me before we started, we won't be seeing any rooms because you lose connectivity with Wi-Fi in between the lodge and the room. So we're just going to take a look around the main lodge.
Absolutely. And if we would like, we can always tap into the rooms a bit later on as well. I did show Lylie through to the very bespoke property in terms of the exclusivity as well. Maybe we've got 6 lodges here, or 6 suites. And they all have a beautiful view of the Manyeleti, which is the river just in front of us. I'm going to turn the camera on just over here.
Oh, wow. I love the pool. It's beautiful.
Yeah, fitness quite a big thing in terms of the lodge. We've got a gym attached to the spa as well. So everything to keep you fit if the wine and the purees get a bit rich. So we do have that, a 25-meter pool. We've got all the goggles, the amenities to go with. And as you can see, which is amazing this time of year, the Manyeleti does flow. A bit of chaos with the beauty. But she's a beaut. And obviously with the bush at the moment very green, we're undertaking our bush clearing program at this point in time in the year. So it's very valuable to the environment, to the seed beds as well. So we've cleared quite a bit of land with the immediate effect, with the hope that it opens up the sightings and the game drives as well. So it makes it a lot more accessible with your. We do, speaking about leopards, there is a female this side at Sylvan called Tiani. She's got 2 at the moment. Some of the time we've had the pleasure of having the cubs just in front of the lodge, typically around rooms 4, 5, and 6 as well, is where she kind of hangs out. So now for the guests that are lucky enough to experience it, she is around and giving us a bit of a showing off session. And just over here we've got the boma. So in the evening time, lanterns lit around the main deck. We share some stories. One thing about the bush and the people that work in it, there's always stories there, I must say. So we do that typically with all our guests that do come through. Share some drinks here. Dining locations, we never keep it to the same. We always want guests to have a bit of variation with where they dine. So we keep the guests on their toes, as they say, throw a couple of surprises in. And right now we are in our piano lounge. So very beautiful carpets, color schemes as well. David, the owner, very involved in terms of the architecture as well as the interior decor. So just recently refurbished. Got a beautiful chandelier just over here.
Beautiful.
And
is that, just out of curiosity, Stefan, is that chandelier from local artists?
Absolutely. Put together on the property. So put together by David and everybody at the beginning of Sylvan. So everything was actually put together here. A couple of materials brought in, but a lot of the staff got involved with the artwork, and I think it was a beautiful process to be a part of that.
Nice.
I miss that, but you get to see the story and the vision through what he says through his stories when he's here. We've got a full service bar for the guests. Enjoy some drinks here. Tanae has just joined us. And we've got a beautiful wine cellar. The guests are happy to enjoy as well. Beautiful selection of South African wines. We've got national champagnes as well. If they do like that, that does add a different dimension.
And Stefan, tell us, so with 6 rooms, obviously you guys are very small. In terms of clients who come to stay with you, do you have families as well as couples and, a range of people, or would you say you're specific to more couples and adults?
Yeah, absolutely with that. Bit of everything, I'd say. Range typically couples coming through. We do have, which is a quite nice asset to the property, is room number 6, the Leadwood Suite. Every room is named after the trees around it. So we've got Leadwood in room 6. And families typically stay there because they've got the main room and then the double deluxe room attached to that. By no means is that room small. Claustrophobia, not really a problem with the rooms. But room 6 is perfect for families. It's got a bigger deck. Beautiful view of the Manyeleti, a sweeping view of the whole Manyeleti coming down. And a bigger pool, the largest pool of the property as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I love having a pools at safari lodges, so that's a huge plus.
Absolutely, Mimi, absolutely. And in time, talking about the bush in front of the lodge with the bush clearing program, we've actually diverted all our grey water matter. We're actually treating that and we're pumping it to a pan just in front of the lodge. So once we clear all the bush, it's going to be a beautiful open perspective of the pan itself. So
Nice.
hopefully the animals keep a circle of life with us. So that's kind of the intention and the vision going forward.
And Stefan, I know you've been there, I think, for about 2 years. Do you have a favorite time of year?
Mimi, my favorite time is winter, because as a manager, you don't deal with the chaos of the rains. I think bush is a lot less dense, to be honest, so it does help with the viewing. But this time of the year, you see the bush in a very different light as well. The green. And I think it is also a beautiful time of the year. But for me, winter is probably the best in terms of sightings. And we've got we do a banqueting table as well, light all the candles, quite a medieval feel, but it turns out beautifully in the evenings.
And Stefan, so when people are dining with you, is it a combination of perhaps dining solo with just the people that you came with, and then do some nights you have everybody dine at that big, large table?
Yeah, maybe I'm very open to the connections, and that's what Safari is about for me. Is the connections with the guests, and if they are building that connection, I highly recommend they get together and join tables. I try and instill that into the kind of ambience of Sylvan. We do a forest evening, which is our sort of take on a Boma evening. Beautiful lanterns in the forest. And yeah, unfortunately with the rain, Lylie won't be able to see it, but it does bring everybody together as well. Typically plated service, or we do a bit of a Moroccan evening with that as well. So a little different part of Africa. We bring the taste to Sylvan, so it works out quite nicely. And yeah, the feedback's been great, eh? And
Nice.
the thing, when I've worked at some different places, is the chemistry with the guests here. There's always a good vibe. So happy to be a part of it.
When people come there for the first time, you've seen obviously a lot of guests come through over the last 2 years. Would you say there is one particular thing that most surprises them about staying with you, whether it be their accommodations or the lodge?
I really do think it's kind of the contemporary feel we've got in terms of the architecture and the interior. I mean, I think they really are surprised. Maybe they have a different idea coming through the side, and I just think it's just the openness of the lodge itself as well. It's very open plan as well as the rooms, and I think it makes to a different dynamic too, and makes us quite unique to the other properties. So we do stand out, and I think it's an important fact is the interior as well.
Well, and it looks like you're in a stylish hotel in Miami almost, with all of your beautiful art and that open windows and your contemporary furniture. It's just stunning.
Absolutely, and all the furniture nice and new as well. So we just refurbished, gave it a bit of a revamp, and exciting to be a part of that project as well, I must say.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing it with us.
Mimi, thank you for sharing in the vision as well, and appreciate you guys. It's been a good time, and I hope for better times to come ahead as well.
Absolutely. Lylie and I have big plans about sending everybody to Africa.
Absolutely, Mimi. We're on it. And while we're on that subject, to be honest, being on the ground now, it really is the best time to come, because COVID has just put everything on hold, as we all know, and the lodges are just at their prime, waiting for people to come. There are obviously guests in house. There has been guests in house at every property I've stayed at, but the beauty of it is that you're going to get that real VIP feeling, because they are so excited to see international guests that you really feel it. You feel it in the staff. You feel it at every single lodge. I've felt it. You appreciate it so much. And I think that's key, like I know with Africa, a lot of people will book it, a year in advance or 6 months out. But I can tell you, between clients wanting to wait that long, which is fine, and they can, if they want to grab fantastic deals still, and they want to come down to the ground now's your time. We've just had a group of agents with myself over the last few days, and they were all absolutely blown away by South Africa. That you have all those normal feelings you would feel when you're traveling abroad somewhere for the first time, maybe perhaps after COVID, and they were nervous about a little bit of anxiety about PCR testing before going back home. All of them came back negative. All of them had the time of their lives. In fact, they cried when they left. So I must say, and I know it was life-changing for them. So my message to you is when you share this with your clients is to not get them to not forget about now, because now is the time, and it's very special to be here.
Well, and it's quite obvious how open air everything is, right? You can eat outside for every
Absolutely.
meal. The walls of
Absolutely.
the lodge are all open. So as far as being, friendly to wanting to have lots of air circulation, it's a
Oh,
great
yes.
destination.
Absolutely. And that all of the lodges have still got, strict protocols in place.
Mhm,
Not strict that you feel like you can't do anything, but there's hand sanitizer stations, and
mhm,
there might be some forms that you might need to fill in before you get there. But in general, you can actually eat as you wish, because everyone has now got different ways of thinking and feeling, with COVID. So
mhm,
in regards to traveling, so you might get a family who's totally fine with being in a closed space, and you might get some that are a bit more nervous, and that's
mhm,
absolutely understandable, but adjustments
mhm,
will be made for them.
mhm. And so, sort of to close it up, when you are there and you look around and you just take your moment to sort of sit down and be still, what are some of the top couple of feelings that come to mind for you?
Oh my goodness. Firstly, I would say staff, absolutely amazing. Having just taken it in, and the adventure of getting here and the lengths that they went to get me here, amazing. And so thankful that I didn't turn back, because there was a time where I thought, maybe should I turn back? So just fantastic staff, and very knowledgeable, obviously, in the area, and very professional. And then, of course, I think what really jumps out is also the contemporary feel of the property. It's
Mhm,
it's
mhm,
the artwork is incredible.
mhm,
I know Stefan spoke a bit about that earlier. The artwork, the piano bar. You don't normally have these things in safari lodges.
mhm.
So it does stand out very differently to other lodges, and there's absolutely a fantastic place for it, which is great.
Yeah.
Also, the lap pool I love. I haven't seen such a beautiful lap pool in a lodge before.
Mhm, mhm.
And what I love about that is that it's actually an infinity pool. So as you're swimming, I mean, you literally can stop halfway and have a little breather, look over the edge, and you could see some ellies in front of you. So
And
I
then
mean,
and then you pinch yourself and think, "Am I really here or is this a dream?"
exactly. Exactly. So no, it really is. It's an exceptional property. So I think it's definitely got a lot going for it, and I'm really excited to be here.
And I think it's so fun when people go on safari because if you don't know what you want as far as style, it's so fun to combine a couple of different lodges, some that have the
Absolutely.
true safari camp feel, some even like a mobile camp where you're super, excluded or, in a very private place, and then a
Yeah,
place like Sylvan that's so contemporary with such high style and art.
absolutely.
It's just a fun contrast.
And especially if you're traveling with a family or a multi-gen family that
Yeah.
wants a bit of both, you're not going to please maybe everyone's style. So to have that, we can totally offer that. I mean, I think I mentioned the other day with Tulini, for instance, as an example, you don't even need to change lodges, so to speak, in the
Right.
sense of brands. You can actually stay within the brand and actually go and experience two completely different feels.
Hmm.
Same with here. Now I'm a little bit further over in the Sabi Sands now, so you could do a couple nights at Sylvan and then go across easily to, Ulusaba or one of the other ones, just depending on which ones you want to partner it with, but
Yeah.
very easily done. One thing to mention though, which we would obviously tell all of our clients and guests, is that when you Google the distance between one to the other, it doesn't mean that that's how long it's going to take you. So,
Oh, I'm very familiar with that problem. Morocco, Costa Rica, Africa, it happens a lot.
exactly. And what happens here is because there's a lot of farms within the Sabi Sands. So what happens is you might get one farm in between, which doesn't allow you to traverse over their land. So
Mhm,
which would really be, a 15, 20-minute journey could take you 2 to 3 hours because you have to go all the way around. So that's an
mhm,
important factor just to mention to clients is,
mhm,
when we are, putting together trips, is just to
mhm.
to mention that fact.
Well, I will say that since I mostly work with families, even teenagers get a little antsy in the car. So that's always something that is a priority for me. I don't want to just know distances. I want to know time driving in the car. Yeah,
Correct. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
Lylie, so fun. Thank you so much for coming in from Africa. It's almost 9 o'clock here on a Saturday morning. So it's Saturday afternoon for you. And I appreciate you doing this on your weekend.
Absolute
And
pleasure.
hopefully, I think we're going to maybe do one more before you leave your safari.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll do one more tomorrow, and that'll be And Beyond Chingile.
Okay.
I'll be there hopefully in good time tomorrow, and we'll have a similar sort of setup tomorrow. So looking forward to it, Mimi, and stay warm today.
Thank you. I need
All
to.
right.
I will. Have a great time.
Thank you. I intend to go and find a leopard now. So see you
Okay.
soon.
And the cute little cubs. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.